WUDGUndergroundColumbus.com. Today is a very special day for the Bplus show. Today, we are paying respect and tribute to the men and women of the armed forces. We will have two guests here today, Paul Calhoun of the military, and Lou, what's your last name?
Garner.
Lou Garner, former Marine. Stay listening. We'll be right back right after this. B-Double Blazing Brian back here with you on WUDG Underground Columbus. Like I said, today is a very special day. We are paying tribute to the troops, to the men and women of the armed forces. And we have two men here in the studio today. Paul Calhoun and Lou Garner.
What's going on?
Lou's a former Marine,
Yep.
and Paul is still active in the military.
I'm proud of the military and what it has done for me, and then on top of that, the discipline that it has on in general. So I love serving our country.
Woo! Both of you tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Oh, great question. You know what? I'm currently a student at the Ohio Broadcasting Center. I have my own show. It's called the NBA Courtside. Coming up in about 30 more minutes from now, live on scoreonair.com. I'm also a worker at United Partial Service, UPS. I've been there for at least 19 years. Same way it is with the military. I've been here 19 years also. And don't get me wrong, I had my fair share going overseas twice, and from both experiences, they were both different and in different regions of Iraq, and I learned something there that, especially what it goes on overseas. But I can say this much: the experience that I had was very valuable, and I treasured the training that I had, and I'm just looking forward to riding my time out and calling it a day, actually.
Well, like Paul said, I'm a student here at OCB. I also have a show down there. I'm currently on a forced vacation, but Blue Jackets Racket on the same thing, scoreonair.com. Yeah, I was in the Marines for 4 years. Wanted to stay longer, couldn't. Went overseas to Afghanistan. Saw some fun stuff.
Oh boy!
And same thing like what he was saying as far as in that short amount of time, because 4 years goes by quick. It does.
Yeah, I tell you something. Like, you did yours 4 years that way, and I did mine through the reserve. It went longer, but I can say this much: I got a chance to go, overseas in active duty twice, so I know what you felt like when you were doing that duty and tour. Okay, and it's full time, and you follow all the rules and the regulations which are abided by full time also. So what I look at is you have to be under great discipline, because at all times you cannot become complacent, because you're not at home. But then again, you must always think you are over in foreign territory, and at any moment something's bound to happen. Don't get to the point where, because you're playing PlayStation or Xbox, something won't happen, and it will. Just plain as a nose on your face. That's what I can tell you.
Now, why did each of you decide to join the military or branch?
Wow, good question there. I'll tell you what, I'll go through a little short story here. Me, I did it as not really as a dare, but as a challenge. I had two other brothers that went into the military, and they were always telling me, oh, it's hard, it's tough. Okay, well, it can't be that hard. Can it? So when I joined, don't get me wrong, basic training was like, it was pretty rough for me, because I made it hard for myself. But after that, everything was like a piece of cake. So that's how I can tell you right now how it operated for me.
And I don't know. One day I just kind of woke up. I was still in college. I was going to Rio Grande University for pre-med. be a doctor. And then
Yeah.
There you go. There you
I
go.
woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go join the Marine Corps today.
Ooh.
I drove back up here, talked to the recruiter. A couple days later, signed the papers. 2 months later, Paris Island boot camp. I dropped out of college to join the Marine Corps.
Ooh, boy. Wow.
Put myself through hell.
You know what? I won't doubt it. You know, I noticed something about the Marines, and I can't take anything away from them. You guys are a very committed bunch. Another thing I learned about the Marines, and that is because we were stationed out there in Saul Sinjar, which is high north in Iraq. To make a long story short, they live by the saying and the code: simplify, do or die. And one thing I can say about it, when you say you want something and you need something for the Marines, they're there, Johnny on the spot. No matter what branch is out there saying they're going to be there, the Marines is there no matter what. So I have a lot of respect for the Marines indeed.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I really respect them in general. Yes, indeed. Something I have learned from the Marines itself, and that is the Army too. The Army, on the other hand, we fight as a group. So as you can verily put it, the Marines fight out of a whole. The Army fight as a whole. You know, a whole unit, I might so to speak. So that's the difference between us two. And so I learned that you know, the Marines, they're like I said, they are a committed bunch. And as their saying goes, the few, the proud, the chosen, they are that. They are that. Yes, they are that indeed.
Not very many of us.
No,
Sure.
no. They're the first ones to go in, last ones to leave. It takes a real tough-minded person to do that. It really does, because you got to have a certain commitment and a certain mentality to do it.
I think that goes for any branch of the military. Really.
Yeah, it does. I think my thing is, I didn't look at the part where self-sacrifice situations. I looked at, well, you know what? Because when I first got in, I said, well, I want a job, okay? Or if it's not a job, I would like to have something with you where I have part-time income. And you know, you can use it for your, you know, you can use the military to the point where you have it so that you can use it for education, a job, experience, a trade that you're learning. You can use that, and you can do that. Uncle Sam is just like he said he is. You know, he will train you to be a man, and responsible at that.
Now, Paul, you're still active. But
That's correct.
what was like your first days like when you first arrived after boot camp? For each of you, you also went through boot camp. But what was your first days like after that compared to your last days, or compared to now?
Wow. You want to answer this one here?
Man, the first days after boot camp were terrible.
Wow.
It was bad, man.
Wow.
It's back. Now you gotta also think that when I went through, as far as boot camp goes, we were the last cycle for the Marine Corps anyhow. Now, I don't know about the Army or anybody else, but we were the last cycle where they were allowed to actually hit us. Not like really bad, but they did it. They abused it because it was the last time they were going to get to do it. So I got through that, and then you go to, well, infantry training, basically. And that was like 4th phase boot camp. They torture you there, basically, for the most part. Then, hit the fleet. And then when you get the fleet, you're boot on deck. It's bad. It is no good. And compared to the last days when I got out, I just remember standing there yelling at the new boots on deck. And then I went and signed my papers. I was like, I'm out. See you guys later.
So it was like first year getting yelled at, and you get yelled.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I think for me, first days coming back from basic training and tech school, I should say, or AIT, what we would call it in the Army. The discipline that I have there, I noticed that the training of making sure everything is precise and everything is done to the T. You watch your friend's back, I watch your back. When I came back, I noticed that I was back in civilian territory. And I learned that, you know something, I always kept my standard up. And I noticed that when I got around other people, they didn't understand that about me. So I didn't live 24/7 Army, ha ha ha, rah rah rah. I didn't live it that way, but the point where I'm back in civilian territory, I can relax a little bit. Another thing I learned also, and that is, just your focus is different. That's really how I look at it. My focus is to the point where I want to drive to get my mission done, and it's still that way to this day. I have that drive to the point where no matter what I put my mind and my heart to do, even if I fail, I will try my best to succeed, no matter what it is. And if that's the case, I'll run into the hills, no matter what. So that's the way it was for me when I first came back from the military. So I'm just trying to finish up the last portions of it right now, the last 2 years. And once I get past the last 2 years, I will quote unquote retire from the military itself, and I'll say, you know what, I'm not only done, but it's been good. I must have laughed from day one when I first got in, and laughed when the time I got out. That's how the time flew away for me. And I met many people, and the people that I did meet, they were good.
And you brought up friends in the military, having your friends back. What is it like making friends in the military or in the Marines? And would you say it's difficult to keep those friendships?
Oh no, something. Those friendships are like lasting, long-lasting friendships. It's just like everybody is from a different walk of life, and so you meet people just like you meet them in school, you meet them in church, you meet them, our everyday living. Strike up a conversation. He got the same interests you got. She got the same interests you got. Y'all form a bond, a relationship of some sort, and then you go from there on. And that's really how you look at it. And even to this day, there's still some friends of mine that still hit me up on Facebook. I mean, I haven't really got a chance to communicate with them because I'm busy. But I think when I get the opportunity, I think right then and there they're going to say, what took you so long? Where were you at? How come you didn't hit me up? I have a life, but I have to look at it like, what? It is what it is. That's it.
For me, man, it was easy. Easy making friends.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, well, we're all stuck here.
Right.
You might as well talk to one another.
Right.
And then it's like what he said, you start finding out.
Right.
Obviously, everyone's different going in there, and then you find out, like, hey, just like what Paul said, hey, I'm going through the same thing this dude's going through, or her, or whatever.
Right. You form that bond, that communication gap, and it's like you guys are all there, and that's how you have to look at it.
I mean, I to this day still have my first sergeant call me and check on me.
Wow.
So.
Scary.
It doesn't bother me. Like, I'm cool. It's weird because
that's scary.
I'm used to calling him first sergeant, right? But whenever I call him, he's like, he's a big black dude. So I answer the phone. He's like, "What up, Blue?" Like, "Hey, what's up, Sean?" It feels weird to call him that. And he's like, "Right, just checking in on you." And if I ever need anything, all I gotta do is ask him, and I know he'll do it.
He'll do it. He'll help you out.
So
that's
and vice versa.
Right, and I respect that wholeheartedly because I know that's how we all. That's how we do it. I mean, in the military, we have a different type of bond, where we're not like the civilians here.
It's weird to be.
Yeah.
Like you and him, right? Like you guys are friends, right?
Yeah.
But me and him, it's a totally different thing, man.
Right.
Like you can sit down and it's that quick.
Yes, very quick.
So
very quick, and it snaps. It's just to the point where I got his back, he got mine. It's it. When he say military, or if he say Marines, he says Air Force, he says Navy. All that, we'll joke around with one another. We'll call each other names. But all jokes aside,
when it gets down to the nitty gritty,
you know what? It'll be to the point where if he's on that battlefield, I tell you what, I will run in a line of fire just to save his life. That's the way it is with me.
Yep.
Okay? I can't put it into words what that commitment would be like for me. I don't care. And the funny thing about it is I'm learning it even when I was overseas. I'm learning to this day that no matter what type of pain I go through, I will still continuously keep going. So I'm learning, you know what, it's unusual. It's just, I can't describe it for you. I really can't. I really can't do it for you. But that bond. That's it.
Now, what were some of your duties that you had?
Oh man.
Oh,
And
wow.
what would you say what would you consider like the best duties and the worst duties?
The worst duties are barracks duty.
Yeah. Barracks duty.
Because everybody's running around, they're partying, in uniform, you're like, man, come on.
Right.
People are doing crazy stuff.
Correct.
Worst duties, sitting in a Humvee in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, just staring out in the distance, like, oh, I can't see anything.
That's guard duty. Yep.
Yep.
That's another one. I don't know. I mean, I think the best one I could say is doing the duty is KP, Kitchen Patrol. If you didn't eat anything good, like cake or anything, you got first dibs on it. Trust me, you do. I think the worst thing you can do is when they tell you to do certain details. And if it's a crappy one, believe me.
Working parties.
Right. See, there you go. Okay. It's a crappy duty. Oh, wow. I can't stand it. I don't like it at all.
I think one of the worst working parties ever went on. Because I was a part of a tank battalion.
You were?
Yeah, 2nd Tanks, 2nd Mordiv. And we had, it was a good amount of people in that battalion. Right.
For real?
Yeah. And I remember I was outside one day, walking around, and this is the fatal mistake in the military. Don't look like you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Someone will find you something to do.
Right.
And
Trust me.
they yoked me up with the quickness, and like 3 other guys, and they were like, go out in the parking lot and pick up all the cigarette butts. And then like a good old police call.
Oh, yes. Okay.
For the first time, I was like, oh, I hate this. I hate this.
Yes. You know, another thing, we have a saying of our own. Out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, yeah.
If they can't see you, you don't have to worry about it. That's it. And then when it's over, you come right back on the scene like, well, where were you guys at? We were over there. Everything's all done.
That's it.
That's it.
They can't get mad at you.
No,
they
they
can't
won't.
prove that you weren't there.
Right, that's it. You have a battle buddy and everything. So that's basically how it rolls from there on.
Now, what is...
One more question? Yeah, that's okay.
Paul, I know you got to run here.
Oh yes, I gotta run right back in there. I gotta put the commercials together real fast.
Yeah, Paul has another show. You can catch him on The Score.
NBA courtside, everyone. I'll be there in about 2 minutes, everybody.
Okay, Paul, for you, I'm go ahead and ask you this question.
Go right ahead.
Hold off. Just on Paul since he has to run.
Go ahead, go for it, man.
Go for it.
Would you say that you've accomplished your goals, and how has the military helped you accomplish them?
I haven't accomplished all my goals, but I can say this much: the small goals that I have in there, I've accomplished them. I did almost go 20 years in the military. I still have a chance to go to school, and I'm still going to school right now. I'm still using my GI Bill. I'm still getting a chance to, meet new friends and everything else like that. I've met my small expectations. I have met those. My big expectations, I'm still working on those right now. So my thing is, once again, I have fun. I'm still having fun. So until I ride this here thing into the sunset, I'm just going to take one step at a time.
And for all the military men and women listening right now, what would you like to say to them?
Great question. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe for the holidays. Another thing, listen to NBA Courtside, here on ScoreAir.com.
Gotta get that plug in there.
Yeah, plug in. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more questions for Luke.
Yeah.
The Marines. Thank you for being here, Luke, and Paul, thank you.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. Luke, Kern's trying to figure out a video camera.
Oh, be quiet. I'm getting it. I'm learning.
She's my videotaping person, videotaping this for
Nick's still here if you guys are wondering.
Nick.
Yeah.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Nick can't hear you.
Show him on video.
Show him on video? Okay.
Say hi.
Say hi, Nick. Sorry, we're having too much fun.
Really energetic.
Yeah, very
So
energetic.
full of life.
This makes it a little hard to video since I'm right here. So I'll just back up a little bit.
Okay. I know we got Kern out of the way.
Ha.
You're very nice, Brian.
Lou, again, thank you for being here.
Hey man, not a problem at all.
Woo!
For the people that are just tuning in, I'm sorry to say, but you're missing a great show. The Bplus show. Paying tribute to the troops. We had Paul Calhoun on here earlier, and Paul had to run out to do his other show on Score on Air, NBA Courtside. Is Lou still here with us?
Yeah.
Lou, if you wouldn't mind, catch everybody up, tell us a little bit about yourself again.
Well, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. Did one pump, and then I got out, came here to OCB, and that's pretty much all I've been doing. Nothing too exciting. Minus the 4 years of the Marine Corps. That's a totally different story.
What were some of your experiences like? Big stories?
Oh, plenty of them. Not all radio.
Related.
Well, no, I can't say them on the radio. Let's see.
Some of your good experiences.
Good experiences.
With the Marines.
Man, there's a lot of them. We used to, every year on the Marine Corps birthday, they have the Marine Corps Ball, or a roundabout it. And we used to have ours, my battalion would have it at Myrtle Beach, since we were, I think, like 2 hours away from it, because I was stationed in North Carolina. So we would go down there all the time, and it was just a gigantic party. You'd have people on there, they'd be there for like vacation,
Yeah.
and it would just happen to be the time that we'd go down there and do our gigantic Marine Corps ball, and it was good times down there, because you run into all these people that are super, like respectful, and they have no problem telling you that they're glad that you did what you did, and they thank you and things like that, which is always cool. But I don't know, it was just like, for example, we went into a dueling piano bar one time, and the guys on the piano knew that it was Marine Corps birthday. So they started playing the music, and all of us got up on stage and we sang the Marine Corps hymn, and then everybody bought us drinks for the rest of the night. So you have moments like that that are pretty good.
How would you say you get treated because you're in the military? Would you say you get treated like differently than if you were a civilian?
I think that I do. I kind of know why, but at the same time, I still question it. It's weird. Like, when I walk around here, people know, and people ask me about it, and I'll tell them I don't care. I mean, some other people, you can tell, because I'll be talking to them, and they'll be like, are you in the military? Yes, the Marines. They'll be like, yeah, you can tell. But I don't know if it's the way I talk and act, carry myself. I mean, it's different, I guess, for everybody, obviously, but for me, it's just like a whole nother level. Like, I'm a clean freak, so we used to have to do every Thursday was field day, and we'd have to clean top to bottom, wall to wall, and it had to be spotless. Otherwise, you'd be there Friday and Saturday cleaning your room, and no liberty on the weekend for you. So, I've seen it happen.
Now, apparently Sean is joining us right now.
Woo!
So, did we talk about what Lou did in the Marines at all?
A little bit. We haven't touched fully on that.
Alright, Lou, take it away. What did you do?
I was a tank mechanic. I worked on the M1A1 Abrams, but was also provisional infantry. So.
And provisional infantry means you filled in whenever necessary.
Yep. They would be like, who wants to go? Right here. Send me out. Go have fun.
So, you were telling me a while ago about, you had the chance to, drive a tank? When you're climbing up, your cell phone fell out and the cell phone got ran over by a tank. You took it, you put it in a box, and you took it to the cell phone store, and the guy did what?
Yeah, he was asking me, he was like, well, what happened? I'm like, well, yeah, I ran that over with a tank. And he proceeded to ask me a certain amount of questions, but the first thing that came out of his mouth I can't say on here, which is it's an appropriate response. It's probably what I would have said. And then, I don't know, I think I left with a new phone that day, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Fairly sure. Yeah, I think I flipped out in there and was like, look, dude, just give me another phone. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I literally have it in a box. Here it is, tons of pieces. I smashed the battery. There was like goo everywhere from the battery.
Nice. Here's to all you phone manufacturers listening. How about you make something that can get ran over by a tank? Just an idea.
Not even Nextel did that back in the day.
Yeah.
I think maybe Sprint does.
I had Sprint, and no. No.
Now, I remember hearing that they made some kind of phone or something that can be dropped from really high.
Verizon had that phone. I remember that.
Yeah, they said
It
could
could
drop
be
it from
dropped
space.
like really high, but running it over with a 70-ton tank? No, sir.
Yeah.
So you got to drive the tank.
Oh, I did all kinds of things. Yeah, I drove them. I worked on them, obviously, because I was a mechanic. Got to shoot them a few times. I'm like blowing stuff up.
What's that like?
It's extremely invigorating. It's like you look at something. It's weird. It's like you're looking at it and you're like, okay. As soon as I pull this trigger, that is no longer going to be there. And it's just click. All it is, just one little metal contact touches another. 120 millimeter round goes down range, and whatever it is done for.
Now, what's the training like in the Marines?
Now boot camp, or just overall.
Just overall, like training to drive the tanks and shoot the weapons and shoot the guns.
The training is strict. They want everyone to learn the same way, so everybody can kind of do each other's job to a certain extent. And then it's mainly like the biggest things like weapons training. It really is. Like weapons training and like group-based training, like storming a house or an office building or something like that. And I've done some wild stuff as far as training goes, and it's just like I said, the mood is always serious. Like they really need to pay attention and take everything in that you can. Otherwise, something could happen somewhere, wherever you are in the world, and you may have missed that little bit of training, and you're not going to know what to do, and it could cost you your life and the people around you. So, you have to take training seriously.
So, what is the craziest thing that you've done with an M1 A1 Abrams tank?
Craziest thing.
Craziest thing I've done.
What's that?
Good question. Ramped them.
Rammed them.
Nice. Get some serious air.
Not really. Serious back pain. I guess this really isn't the craziest. I still think it's pretty funny though. We were crossing. Where were we at? We were in the Mojave Desert, and we were just going along like nothing was happening, just flying. And there was a huge crater, and none of us saw it. We kind of went into it, and the tank just stopped. So 70 tons going to a complete halt. Pretty much everything flew out of it except for us. I almost came out. But I think the only thing that saved me was my belt buckle. Like it got caught on the lip of the hatch, and it just like I almost went out, and then I stopped, and I was just laying on the top with my feet still inside, and I was like, oh, it almost ripped my legs off. That's all I could think of.
Nice. Scariest moment?
Getting blown up, for sure.
So you for sure gotten blown up?
Yeah. Yep, more around. Landed, what? However many feet away for a shrapnel still to hit you, but not kill you, I guess.
So maybe 15, 20 meters?
I'm not really sure. I want to say it was somewhere between 50 and 60 feet. I don't know what that is. Meters.
About 15 to 20 meters.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go.
Nice.
Now you mentioned a couple different places that you've been. How many different places total have you been stationed in what parts of the world?
As far as stationing goes, I was only actually stationed out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, at Camp Lejeune. But I mean, the amount of places that I've been to, whew, pretty much all of them suck. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like 29 Palms sucks, Afghanistan sucks. Germany was alright. Hang out there for a couple days. Ireland was okay. Drink a lot of beer there. Fort Stewart was fun. Was down there for training. It was a good time. Fort Knox, Kentucky was pretty sweet.
Now, what's it like to be re-stationed? Do they tell you that?
Well, when they're just like, hey, you're going here now, it's just kind of like, well, alright. You don't think about it really. Like, you kind of, like, you tell your family, like, you call them, like, hey, I'm going to Kentucky. I'll be there for 3 months. And as soon as you start getting, like, really acclimated to everything, it's like time to leave again. So.
Okay. Now, would you say that you've accomplished all your goals? And how has the Marines helped you accomplish?
I'm going to kind of piggyback off what Paul said. As far as all of my goals, no, I haven't accomplished all of them. Now, my short-term goals that I've set for myself, definitely have accomplished those, and I'm working towards the bigger ones. And the way I look at it, the way the Marines helped me was by giving me, making me a bit more responsible and showing me how to actually use raw determination and how to essentially, like, anything I get myself into,
Yeah.
I can accomplish or get myself out of. That's just the way it is. So as far as the goals go, I've got myself into it. I'm going to achieve them. That's just the bigger ones I haven't achieved yet because they're more long term. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when people are going to buy a house or something. You know what I mean? Something of that nature. So.
Now, how would you say your life has changed because of the Marines?
There's a few positives and a few negatives. I guess that comes with the territory, though. For me, I don't know. I'm never late anywhere anymore. Like, I'm always 15 minutes early. Because I guess it's just embedded in my head. Like, I wake up, I was just telling them, I wake up at the same time every day. I've done it for 5 years and 2 months now. So, like, I'm up, moving. And I guess it comes back to having just that raw determination and knowing how to aptly use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something everybody has. They just don't know how to utilize it. And I don't know. Like, the Marine Corps for me was the way to find out how to utilize it. Now I'm sure there's other avenues of approach you could take on that for everybody else. I mean, you might see a TV show that makes you want to do something. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it could be, it's different for everybody, but for me it was the Marine Corps.
Okay, now I'm gonna put you on the spot with this one. Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to do that. Knowing what you know now, would you go through it again? And why?
Yeah, I would, in a heartbeat. I would do it all over again. Just for the simple fact that if I didn't, I wouldn't be who I am today. Right? There's that, and I'm getting ready to go back. I'm going reserve side. So,
Oh, you are?
yeah. I feel lazy sitting around not doing anything because I'm used to constantly going and, and I miss it. I do. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I mean, it's going to be a little while, a couple more months before I actually go back, but I mean, that's just how it was for me. It was that good of an experience. Now, mind you, there was ups and downs, and the downs outweighed the up over the course of 4 years. Not by much, but it did. And I still want to go back and do it again. So it really couldn't have been that bad, you know what I mean?
I understand that.
Yeah, so.
Well, Lou, I want to thank you for being here.
Amen. It was a great time.
Now, what would be, what would you like to say to all the military men and women listening right now?
Again, I'm going to piggyback off of Paul.
Thank God for Paul being
Yeah, I
here
know.
today.
Well, I would have said the same thing, but he said it before me. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. I hope you get to spend it with your families, and if you're not and you're overseas and you happen to be listening, keep your head low. Come back safe. And we got your 6.